This man woke up suddenly because of licking. He removed the blindfold from his eyes and was astonished the next moment. He found himself trapped on a cliff standing thousands of meters high. Below was a deep chasm. Looking up, he saw his parachute tangled in a dry tree, which somehow saved his life. But the whole wall was smooth because it was a salt. It was a mine. How could he climb up? The man quickly took out his dagger and wedged it into his shoe. Then he took out 2 more daggers and forcefully embedded them into the wall of the salt mine. He tried with all his strength to climb up. He just wanted to somehow get out of this terrible predicament, but he had barely climbed 2 meters when the weak daggers broke. His support was lost and he started falling rapidly. Fortunately, the parachute still. He was caught in the branches of the tree, but before he could get relieved, the dry tree couldn't bear his weight and started cracking slowly. The man immediately tightened the parachute cords, took out his dagger, and quickly began cutting the cord. Finally, when the branches were about to break, he cut the cord and narrowly escaped falling. Now one of his feet was salt. Was on the wall, and his hands were somehow clinging to the rock. In this situation, when he had almost given up, then his eyes went upwards. A goat was standing on the rock, quietly licking salt. Seeing this, a glimmer of hope returned to his eyes. The rest, forgetting everything, he decided to imitate the goat. With full strength, he inserted his hands into the cracks of the rock. Below was a deep chasm, which made him shudder. If he made even a slight mistake, he would fall thousands of meters below and be shattered into pieces. But now, there was no way to turn back. He used his hands and feet correctly and slowly began to climb up. After a long and difficult climb, he reached an elevated part. But before he could take a sigh of relief, the salt surface below crumbled. The sound of falling rocks echoed, and he steadied himself and tried to climb higher. Finally, he leaped like the goat and up, jumped toward. His hands had reached the edge of the rock, but now his strength was giving out. No matter how hard he tried, climbing up seemed impossible. Just then, a goat came from above and stared at him angrily. The goat sniffed the air and sensed that he was not like her. Without any delay, she butted the man. Fortunately, the man was still holding onto the rock with one hand. He started trying to climb up with all his might, but the goat wasn't going to give up so easily. It ran to attack again. This time, the man grabbed the horns. Sensing the danger, the goat panicked and started to pull back. In this tussle, the man was pulled up and finally reached the top of the rock and fell onto the ground. He lay there panting. Then slowly,